The episode begins with Asano, asleep on the bed, remembering what happened the previous night and talking to Mutsumi. He thanks her for what she did for him and asks about her older brother's well-being. She reassures him not to worry about him and mentions that she will make her older brother realize the truth later because he is currently unconscious and unaware. She urges them that time is running late, so they should leave. Later, we see him asleep on the bed, believing it was a dream, but he is surprised to see Kyouichirou ready to kill him with a knife, greeting him with good morning, Asano, and launching an attack. Asano dodges his strike at the last moment and wonders why Kyouichirou is there. Kyouichirou tells him that this is the wake-up call for the infamous Yozakura family, reminding him that as a spy, he should sleep with one eye open. Next, we see Mutsumi preparing breakfast for Asano and entering the room to find Kyouichirou torturing him with his sharp spider threads. She demands to know what he's doing, and he explains they are practicing morning exercises. She gets angry with him and orders him to release Asano. Afterward, Kyouichirou checks his watch and insists they must escape now. He carries them and swiftly leaves through the window, only to find the house destroyed shortly after, revealing there was a timed bomb. He tells them that he'll set aside his grudge for a moment to inform them about the Yozakura's mission in life, which is to protect Mutsumi Yozakura. Then, Mutsumi takes Asano's hand and tells him it's time to go. Later, we see them in the car and Kyouichirou speaks, mentioning he just received a report from Shinzo that the bomb was planted in the kitchen. Asano questions why there was a bomb in his house, to which Kyouichirou replies that the target was Mutsumi. When asked why it was planted in his house, he answers that it's surely because of their knowledge of Asano's relationship with Mutsumi. He then shows him on the phone that their marriage is no longer a secret and is spread on social media. Asano asks why spies use social media and why they pursue Mutsumi. Kyouichirou simply replies that it's because she's the head of the 10th clan, leaving Asano shocked. Then Kyouichirou continues his speech, saying that the roots of the Yozakura family trace back to the ninja era of the Edo period. They produced generations of individuals with extraordinary powers, but in each generation, there is one person born natural. That person is the head of the clan, the leader. They may not possess extraordinary powers like the rest of the members, but their descendants will undoubtedly inherit those extraordinary powers. Thus, only this person can pass on the genes carrying the Yozakura family's talent. Essentially, the leader passes on this talent, and the other members use their talents to protect their leader. This is how the Yozakura family has succeeded. As the legitimate leader of the Yozakura family, Mutsumi is its lifeline. However, we don't really care about our family's social status. We just want Mutsumi to live the life she desires. He tells Asano that they have discussed this matter before and he can't do it alone. If everyone in this family is willing to put their lives on the line for the family's affairs, then he must also do his part. It's truly admirable. But why is she with this stupid boy? Then he continues saying, "You're now learning about Mutsumi's circumstances. In the end, she will take over the leadership of the Yozakura family in the criminal world. That's why she has to live a normal life now and gain an understanding of the outside world's culture. But there are those who bear grudges against her, envy us, and want to exploit us. Mutsumi is exposed to all this hatred. She always dances with death in her hands. That's why protecting her is our family's duty. So I'll show you our craft today. This is just the beginning. This is your first task." They are surprised to be attacked by rockets from outside. They find 2 armed vehicles with soldiers firing at them. However, their car is armored, and the bullets don't penetrate its glass. Kyouichirou reassures Asano that the car is armored and then speeds up the vehicle. They find that the leader of these thieves is wielding a massive weapon and starts attacking them again. Kyouichirou speaks to the driver, asking if he can drive smoothly so he doesn't spill the tea. They find out that the one driving is Julius, the little cat. When Asano realizes this, he's incredulous. But they find out that this cat is incredibly skilled at driving and dodges all their attacks, making Kyouichirou lose his patience and start pouring the tea. He climbs onto the roof of the car, and when the soldiers see him on top, they start shooting at him. However, he deflects all their shots with his sturdy threads. Then he begins attacking them, swiftly slicing through both vehicles and causing them to explode. Afterward, he re-enters the car and says to Asano, "Did you see that? That's our family's duty protecting Mutsumi." He then pulls out a pistol, and when Asano sees it, he is shocked to realize it's a real gun. Kyouichirou tells him not to worry, that if he kills someone, they'll cover for him, so he shouldn't hesitate to use it. But Mutsumi intervenes, telling him to stop right, as assassinations are usually done through bombs or poison, rendering the gun useless. Asano is surprised by her words and asks if she's always exposed to such attacks. She confirms and continues, saying her older brother has now given him this task. He hands the gun to Asano, explaining that it belongs to the assassin Taiyou, who is currently chasing her and is also the one who planted the bomb in his house. Taiyou is a notorious bomb maker who has previously earned a bounty for killing some terrorists. Asano is astonished by this revelation, realizing Taiyou has helped him before but now seeks to kill his little sister. Kyouichirou tells Asano not to underestimate Taiyou. Although he has a bad personality, he will bother him with some light bombs before finishing his task with his own special bomb. Then, he holds Asano's face and instructs him to protect Mutsumi, and to take his precautions so he won't get hurt. He warns that if he wants to regret the day he was born, he should ignore this advice. Asano realizes that this is the start of his first mission, to protect Mutsumi. Later at school, Asano rushes ahead of Mutsumi to check all the areas of the school for any bombs or traps. When students see him, they're surprised because it's unlike him. Then his friends see him and greet him, asking what's wrong with him, if he's in a bad mood or something. They comment on how strange he looks today, finding him genuinely terrifying. Later in class, Asano announces that he didn't find any bombs in the classroom and begins searching everywhere. He's surprised to find a tweet from the bomber Taiyou, stating that the second bomb is in its place. But as he looks at his phone, a ball hits him in the face, followed by losing sight of his friends. Worried, he wonders if they're okay. But then he's startled to see a ghostly figure in the school, prompting him to rush towards it. However, he finds the teacher, who asks him what he's doing there. He replies with nothing and then leaves. After that, we see Mutsumi and her friends eating. Asano thinks to himself, "Mutsumi made me change my mind about many things. She doesn't eat anything given to her immediately, and she tries not to walk alone anywhere. These precautions must have been ingrained in her throughout her life. She's been struggling all this time, doing all of this by herself. All I ever thought about was myself. I didn't fail just in understanding, but also in supporting her." Later, Asano's friends come and give him a piece of chocolate. He takes it without blushing or feeling embarrassed, surprising them. They comment on how unusual it is, since he usually sweats or blushes when they talk to him, or when he loses consciousness. He does start to feel embarrassed afterward and asks if they want to go to the nurse. But she's absent today. He thinks to himself that he can't lose consciousness, especially for the sake of his wife's safety. Later, we see him unconscious and beginning to wake up, with Mutsumi beside him. He tells her that the nurse's room was closed, so he went to the vice principal's office. She thanks him for protecting her and mentions how he was talking to people since yesterday, which is unusual for him. She admires his progress, saying that although they're small steps, she believes he's improving. Asano asks if she's satisfied with him, admitting that despite knowing her since childhood, he had no idea of the burden she carried until now. He confesses that he can't even take care of himself properly, and that their marriage only happened because he selfishly wanted to protect her. Mutsumi scolds him, saying he's too negative, and that he misunderstood. She chose him, not the other way around, despite his family being chaotic spies, and with the danger that she might die at any moment, he still cares about her feelings. She thanks him for marrying her. Later, they hear a whistling sound, and Asano realizes there's a bomb in the room. It explodes, shocking Asano's friends, who assume it's just an experiment in the lab or something similar. We then see Mutsumi's siblings watching the explosion, wondering if Mutsumi will be okay. After that, we see Asano and Mutsumi, who managed to survive the bomb. Asano wonders how the perpetrator knew they were in this room, as they came here spontaneously. But then he remembers that since they know about his relationship with Mutsumi, they also know about his fear of people. so his coming here would have been expected. Just like this morning, they anticipated his movements to target Mutsumi. Then, Asano is surprised to find a small bomb attached to him. The voice tells him, "I am indeed the bomb that will kill Mutsumi," and he realizes there are only 5 seconds left until it explodes. He looks at the door and finds it closed, so he quickly goes and throws himself out of the building, saying, "This is the only way. I'm grateful to end my work early." But at the last moment, Kyouichirou comes and saves him. He explains that the spark, Tameya's small bomb, is lightweight, but however, it has 2 flaws. It takes several hours to charge itself using the target's body heat, and its design is very simple, making it easily stoppable by a thread. He thanks Asano and tells him, "Well done for your observation. As a reward, I'll tell you this, in this world you may doubt yourself, but there's one thing you can trust, and that's family. Yes, I want to kill you, but I won't let you die until I do. So, you can put your life on the line and give your utmost effort for our beloved Mutsumi." He then tells Asano that he'll pull him up now, but if he accidentally slips and falls to his death, it wasn't intentional. Afterwards, they ask him what he'll do with the bomb, and he replies that he'll return it to its owner. Then their siblings enter with the owner of the explosives. They say they heard the bomb sound and came to this place. Then they throw him to the ground, and Kyouichirou wraps the bomb around him and throws it away, causing it to explode. Everyone watches this scene. Strangely, as Tameya dies, he tweets, "I've been blown up now, and it seems I'll die." Thus, the second episode of this legendary anime ends, but before you go, don't forget to activate the bell notification and hit the like button to receive updates on future episodes.